They're the pinnacle of what you want your franchise to be. They've been that for the last 8 years. Anytime you get a chance to play, the best, and you can come away with a victory, you're going to be feeling pretty good. There's a lot to be happy about, but like I alluded to earlier this week, it's never as good, never as bad as you think. So got some stuff to clean up. We'll watch this one tomorrow and get rid of it.
Allen completed 23 of 26 passes against the Chiefs. He was unstoppable, breaking his own record for highest completion percentage in Bills history. He had no off-target throws. It's his second game this season with at least 25 attempts and 0 off-target throws. That's twice as many as the rest of the NFL combined. Trevor Lawrence, the only other guy to do it. That was week 5 against the Chiefs. That on Monday Night Football. Marcus, how is that Bills offense able to be so effective, so in rhythm, so on time this year?
They're in the vein of being a championship team when they play the way they played last night. And that's featuring James Cook, but also allowing Josh Allen to stay around those attempts and completions to protect himself. This team is 6-0 when James Cook has more than 100 yards in a game from scrimmage. Doesn't matter if that's handing the football off or getting him involved in the passing game. He's in that vein of an Alvin Kamara of years past. He's in that vein of a Christian McCaffrey by the way that they're using him and getting him in space. And he is such a cerebral runner. The jump cut, the ability to get in and out of breaks and then get north and south makes him a really good back. But this team functionally is better when James Cook is the feature and not Josh Allen, as crazy as that sounds.
I also think you saw why being at home is so important. This offense is predicated on information. And in the way that they shift in motion, use their backs and their receivers to gather that information, it's enormous advantage at home. So they move the back out. No one goes with them. They know that once the receiver goes and the defender follows, it's man. And the second thing is, Bolton, the backer up top, is really the pressure guy. Now, once the ball gets snapped, you'll see that Shakir is the guy that they want to double team. So then it knows the quarterback 1, it's man-to-man 2. That matchup is advantage. That is Tranquil versus Kincaid. Cute. Now go to the end of the game. You're in that 3-by-1 formation. Point to the linebacker. You got to block him. Everybody on the defense thinks down block, down block, down block. Here comes double team. But you reverse the quarterback out. They've got eyes on those receivers and those tight ends going towards the football. The back takes a great track, James Cook. So it's all about them being at home, having the time to do those different motions and shifts, the quarterback realizing what the defense is, especially against a matchup like Kansas City. That's why I thought this game was such a big deal for Buffalo, and I do believe if they are the 1 seed, they'll go to the Super Bowl.
Wow. Okay, by the way, if you're at home, you're like, there's really loud music and it got crazy in here. I just want to reference the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are on the field, the iconic Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. They see us coming, they're like, it's time to rehearse. All right, listen, these are your people. Mina, defensively, there they are. Get it, girl.
Hey.
You didn't have to turn around. You put it right in front of you. Enjoy. They're very talented. Very talented. Mina, defensively, Buffalo kept the Chiefs in check. This offense has been so good lately. Stop it, Dan.
How am I supposed to
How
focus
are they
when
able to do it?
doing his thing? So they did get a lot of pressure in this one. I thought Bosa was impactful, but then going back and rewatching, to me, it was actually more about the coverage. A few things jumped out, some tweaks that I thought the Bills made. They played more man coverage on early downs, very smart, more dime. And then they took away the easy buttons for Patrick on throws of 2.5 seconds or less, thinking slants, screens, those quick outs that he's so good at. He was 5 for 10 for 23 yards. And going back and watching every single quick pass, I swear, Cole Bishop was in on at least half of them. I mean, I don't know if there's a defensive player in this league who had a more impactful game than him in this one. He was sticky in coverage, he was flying to screens, he was making tackles, breaking up passes. An all-world performance from Bishop and a greatly improved performance from this Bills secondary.
I think a large part of it is, right, styles make fights. And if you're going to play against the Buffalo Bills, you want to be able to run the football. That's not where Kansas City is strong offensively. And so when you look at the play on the back end, especially the young players of the Buffalo Bills, it was amazing. She's already mentioned Cole Bishop, Maxwell Harrison, who actually didn't start this game, but was implemented throughout the game. He made some huge plays. The speed he was able to add on the back end to run step for step with a guy like Xavier Worthy. And I thought the play in space And at the point of attack by the secondary was absolutely amazing. And when you add that combined with some of the pressure we were able to see up front and the wins one-on-one from guys like Joey Bosa, it was a masterful performance by Sean McDermott's defense.
Peter, how do you explain some of these comebacks for the Broncos? It's been sort of, if you're a Broncos fan, you're holding on to your shirt, but they've been able to do it.
They're the cardiac kids of 2025. They are now 4-0 in games where they're trailing entering the fourth quarter. In the last 6 games, they've outscored opponents 86-20 in the fourth quarter. You start looking at what this team does. In the first 3 quarters, that was atrocious from the Broncos offense yesterday. It was horrible. Texans are in control the entire game, and then Bo Nix comes alive, finds a way. Speaking of sources in Denver this morning, the reason it works is because the guys on the defensive side of the ball trust that Nix will get it together when it matters most. And yesterday, they held the Texans. Texans only converted 3 of 17 on 3rd down, and the defense never turned their back on the Broncos offense. A lot of times you'll see a defense say, come on, get this together. It's not that. Nix finds a way. Peyton has trust in him. And Bo Nix, it's not pretty. It's not going to show up on the stats, the intangibles, the mental IQ. It's not going to be a QB rating or some other statistic. It's just an intangible factor that team trusts him. They win another game.
All right, I just had to do something here. I forgot to introduce you,
hi.
Peter. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
I got so excited about the
job,
Broncos.
Hey.
Peter Schrager is here. All right, go ahead, RC.
Well, I think, it helps the Denver Broncos that Davis Mills was quarterbacking and not C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud started that game, and it seemed like he had a good feel for how to navigate the rush and push the football down the field. But let's think about some of those wins that Peter is talking about in 4-0 trailing in the fourth quarter. Philadelphia, Bo Nix legs played a part. The New York Giants, Bo Nix legs played a part. And then the obvious big run on the rollout where they had tried to push the football down the field many times against the Houston Texans. And finally, Bo Nix, he sees the crease, he hits it full speed, and gets a huge gain to put his team into field goal position. I love the fact that Bo Nix, when everything is on the line, he believes in himself. He counts on himself, and he knows that he has the athleticism to make the play. And I love the fact that this team, no matter what, has trust in their young quarterback, because that's huge in building his own confidence.
Yeah, he's definitely clutch. I would push back that it was ugly for the offense for the first 3 quarters. I thought the offensive plan for Denver was very smart.
Okay.
You're not going to drive the length of the field on a consistent basis against this defense. So it was obvious, like, we're just going to keep taking shots. Bo Nix averaged 11.4 yards per attempt. Most of his career, he threw 15 passes, 10 or more yards down the field. It was never going to be a game that this was going to be this consistency. That touchdown pass to Sutton right there, that was the 3rd play in a row that they took a shot on Stingley. That was a very conscious effort for them to just continue to push the ball down the field. It's out of respect. This defense is too good to think you're just going to be methodical against them. The thought is, we're going to hit big plays against them. Our defense is going to be good enough. If we hit one more when it matters the most, we'll find a way to win the game. I thought that was a conscious kind of plan by Denver.
That was J.J. McCarthy. He's meditating before the game, and that's what led to this, okay? I firmly believe in meditation.
And
McCarthy to Justin Jefferson. He said, okay, that was visualized, and it came to fruition. The Vikings tie the game at 7. Middle 3rd quarter, Vikings up 17-14. David Montgomery gets the toss, runs up the sideline. Blake Cashman punches the ball out.
Phenomenal hustle by Blake Cashman. The story of this game was the Minnesota Vikings defense.
The ageless Harrison Smith with the recovery.
Yes.
I love it. Vikings driving after the turnover, 3rd and 7 from the Lions' 9. McCarthy escapes the pressure, scrambles into the end zone for the touchdown. That ankle looks good. The Vikings extend the lead.
This was great for them to see. JJ talked about his health, and he looked healthy in this game.
2 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Jared Goff trying to make something happen, going deep to Jamison Williams. How do we get him more involved in the offense for the Lions? He lunges into the end zone, and that means the Lions cut it 27-24. Kevin O'Connell looking on there. Next Vikings drive, 1:40 to play, 3rd and 5 in their own territory, and McCarthy slated it. Jalen Naylor for the first down. Let's go into the Vikings locker room after a huge upset win. They are so happy for their quarterback. Listen to this.
What was your reaction when you got back to the locker room?
It was awesome. Yeah, just when you're hurt, being on IR last year and being out for 5 weeks, it absolutely kills me not being out there with those guys, because I love every single one of them, And, you know, I know they got my back, and I got theirs the rest of the way.
Pretty special to see the emotion, how much it means to J.J. McCarthy. Peter, what did you make of his return?
He's still just 22 years old. 22 years old. Think about this. He has missed 24 games over a season and a half as a guy who was in the same draft class as a Bo Nix, as a Drake May, as a Jaden Daniels. Yesterday kind of validated what Kevin O'Connell's plan was, though. Let's not rush him out on a Thursday night against the Chargers until he's fully healthy. This was a very deliberate decision. Give him the extra 10 days after that Thursday night loss so that he could be fully healthy. And Marcus, he used his legs.
Yeah,
he couldn't do this if he wasn't fully healthy. I will say this. There was a lot of conversation as to whether he should have played in that Chargers game. He didn't. Carson Wentz did. They lost, and a lot of people were frustrated with that decision. They now have him the stretch of the way. They have not lost in the NFC North yet. And let me give you a good stat. He has won his first 2 games as a starter in the NFC North on the road in the division. The last quarterback to do that, 2004, Ohio State legend Craig Krenzel.
Wow.
Craig Krenzel, 2004. So he made the big plays. They got him fully healthy. And guess what? He went into Detroit and he beat them. That's huge.
The win against Detroit is the biggest thing on their field. You saw also they made a concerted effort to get the ball out of his hands. Dan and RC and Mina talked about how long he was holding it. That's what you go through as a rookie when you haven't played a lot. But the return of someone else mattered too, and that was Aaron Jones in this run game.
Yes,
the
sir.
explosive run game for a young quarterback obviously can be magnificent. We remember Dak Prescott trotting out there, and Ezekiel Elliott and his offensive line did a phenomenal job. But the explosive runs, his ability to catch out of the backfield, I'm sure brought a level of comfort to him, along with Mason. Both of those guys played a huge role in the comfortability of J.J. McCarthy. It also helped Kevin O'Connell settle him when he did want to go down the field. The thing that I loved about not only Aaron Jones being back was that now you have a quarterback playing with confidence because it's only 5 or 6 plays we're asking you to make, as opposed to dropping back as a young guy saying, hey, man, you got to go win this thing with your arm. You saw him make decisive decisions. He put the ball up against one-on-ones, obviously, with Justin Jefferson in the end zone. I thought it was phenomenal from this coaching staff, but having Aaron Jones back was a big deal for the Vikings, too.
Man, credit to Kevin O'Connell and that staff. We'll see how they continue on here, but a lot of people have been doubting some of their decisions, and J.J. McCarthy looked really good. Yeah. Marcus, what do you make of the latest Eagles addition as Howie Roseman just keeps stockpiling these guys?
I hate Howie.
That was coming.
I hate him. I'm so sick of him. I've been sick of him for a couple of years.
Go on.
And
that's a compliment, Howie. It's a compliment.
And Howie knows that. Howie know I don't hate him. I actually admire the way he goes after winning championships and does not wait. You think about the Eagles for the last 4 years, going to Super Bowls, having opportunities to win them. He's made a significant trade at some point in all of those seasons.
Yeah, and the trade actually, they're not giving up that much because Miami, with Champ Kelly now as the new GM, is going to take a lot of that salary. But here's what it also is. They already have 8 picks projected for next year in the draft. They have their own first, a second, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, and that includes the compensatory picks from losing Milton Williams and losing Josh Sweat and losing Mekhi Becton. So if Phillips comes and plays great and they want to sign him to a monster deal, great. That was a great rental and we love you. We'll bring you along. If he leaves via free agency, guess what? They're probably going to get another 3rd-round pick back. This is how Howie Roseman looks at the board. It is a chessboard, and he's always looking to add pieces without giving up too much. It's brilliant work.
I'm sick of it.
He's sick of it. I like watching it.
Right. The Cowboys guys sick of him. The Cowboys are probably sick of him, even though maybe Jerry hasn't admitted it.